Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to take a look at the Warhammer community article that was put up talking about the High Gladiatrix, the brand new Daughters of Khaine hero miniature that is coming inside Arena of Shades, the brand new battle box coming out this weekend for pre-order that contains both Daughters of Khaine and the Nighthaunt. Now, we've talked a little bit about some of the other stuff. We've seen the Scripta Mortis have rules revealed, which is pretty cool. And now we're seeing the other character get some rules, which I think is really cool. I really like the Scripta Mortis. From a narrative perspective, his rule was really cool. One of the rules you could really build a strong narrative campaign around. Well, I guess not the most competitive rule in the world with his big sort of taking someone's name and then doing wounds to them or whatever. It did have some cool narrative connotations to it that I really like the idea of. So let's check out the High Gladiatrix and see what she's bringing to the table. And so the Daughters of Khaine clash against the Nighthaunt on the streets of Harkuron this weekend, and the Arena of Shade goes up to pre-order. Like we said, the battle box contains 2 brand new heroes and a new ranged unit for Nighthaunt. We haven't actually seen too much of the Nighthaunt unit. We've seen their stat line with sort of the 4s and 4s and all of that. We haven't seen any other rules that they might have maybe. Be interesting to see what continues to go for them, but since being conquered by Marathi, Harkuron has become known for hosting bloody gladiatorial arenas where warriors and beasts will fight to the death in front of baying crowds. First of all, she's just a really cool mini. It does remind me a lot, like even the ends of the hooks and stuff like that. The whip and her pose, she looks a lot like one of the 2 handlers from the Charybdis and Hydra kit. Definitely where I sort of get it from. But it's cool seeing a Daughter of Khaine all nice and armoured up. We've definitely seen some artwork of these sort of miniatures. Or of these sort of characters, rather. I think of the Age of Sigmar Soulbound box set where we saw the armoured witch elf as the model was really, really cool. But she is a nice model. Like, there's a lot to do with this. I think GW's paint scheme on this is very samey. I think you could do a lot, making that armour really, really pop. And doing some really interesting things with the bits and pieces across it. There's a lot of like just plain sort of silver. I think with changing up a few of these metal colours into other bits and pieces, you could definitely make this look a ton more to it and give it a lot more, I guess, oomph. I mean, straight away you can see here, like what they've done, they've gone with different colours across the armour in the artwork. And it really does just break up the monotony you see here in like the silver of everything. So I definitely think like if you painted it like this, you would get a much nicer miniature. Now, this highly capable killer is constantly on the lookout for her next victim in the arena, where she executes her deadly balletic routines for the roaring delight of her bloodthirsty audience. She particularly loves to slice and dice enemy heroes, killing them outright with Killing Stroke. So at the end of the combat phase, you can pick one enemy hero within 1 inch of her and roll a d3. Add the number of wounds allocated to that enemy hero to the roll. If the roll is equal to or greater than that enemy hero's wounds characteristic, it's slain. This is okay, like, having a sneaky one of these is pretty nice. Definitely not the most competitive rule, but this could, when this goes off, this could be really, really cool. Because you just outright kill them. Now, this obviously wouldn't work on using against like someone who is immune to outright killing. They would take D6 mortals instead, so something like a Mega Gargant or Archaon, etc. And obviously, Marathi can't be affected by this, so, you know, can't backstab your god, so makes sense. But she could be cool. Like, it's a fun little rule. I think you're definitely probably not going to see this rule used too much in competitive play. But definitely on like a narrative play, like trying to get your characters to fight one-on-one and your little duels between your characters across the table in narrative play. You know, this is going to be really fun to sort of use. If you can get those couple of wounds and then get that D3. If you half kill a hero, you've got a 50% chance you're probably going to kill a 5-wound hero, which is nice. And so any hero within stabbing range of this expert puts themselves in immediate danger, as we say. She also buffs, however, surrounding witch elves and Sister Slaughter, and I think this is the much more exciting bit to talk about here. Her thirst for blood whipping them into such a furious frenzy that they wound on rolls of a 3+, and with a rend of -1. So this is really interesting. Speaking of witch elves, as we currently know them, they're 3s and 4s. This would make them 3s and 3s. Now, I'm going to assume that maybe we see the loss of rerolls and maybe +1s across a lot of the bonuses to the army. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Witchbrew change in some way. If she's going to give out +1 to wounds, are we going to see Witchbrew change? Is Witchbrew going to continue to be rerolls to wound? Are our allegiance abilities going to be continue to be reroll ones, or are we going to see +1s come in? Because we have known that we are seeing the change and the disappearance of rerolls across the army. Or across armies, it should be said. Not entirely, for sure, but it's definitely something happening in the newer edition. And the -1 rend is interesting as well, because we obviously have everybody's favourite spell from Daughters of Khaine, which is the Mind Razor, giving extra rend and extra damage. So are we going to get extra rend here as well? So could we have like 3s and 3s Witch Elves with rend 2, damage 2? Is that going to be a thing? Because that could be really... if like looking on their current war scroll, that's a lot of damage. That's like getting right up there in what you can do damage-wise. It'd be really interesting though, like to see what sort of change. Like this to me says we are going to see some changes. I don't like, and maybe not some, because I don't see Witchbrew giving +1 out for a Hag Queen if we're getting +1 from another character to wounds. Do you like? I think that makes sense. I think maybe Witchbrew may change, or it will continue to stay as re-rolls, maybe re-roll 1s only. And Mind Razor to see whether we're going to be able to do some stacking rend things across the army. I wouldn't be surprised to see the damage or the rend disappear from Mind Razor, in all honesty. It is such a good spell. +1 damage and -1 rend and +1 rend is a really, really good spell. But it's interesting to sort of see. This is a really cool box. I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks of it. Let us know down in the comments below what you're excited for, what you think of this model. Killing Stroke's okay. It'll be cool in narrative play, but I really do like the additional buffs she's going to be applying. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, drop us a comment down below and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel and get your name up on the screen like all these fantastic people do, you can do so by supporting us either on Patreon or YouTube members. As a special thanks to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd love to give them a shout out. So a shout out to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Dynet226. And a shout out to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Shelf, Adriana Edwards, and Sean Scott. A special thanks as well to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for our channel, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work for our channel's Discord server as well. Thank you all for watching. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.